something about it. Because you know why? Just like you ain't gonna, like your boy said, it ain't gonna happen. Guess what? I'm not letting nobody sell you drugs without me saying that. I'm not gonna do it. Guess what? I'm your boy. Nobody tells you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you are very, very like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues for this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good break. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Just when you in hell, how did you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword, with a style that they might just record. The only thing equal is the curse for the wicked and the righteous reward. Have mercy on the men that don't see it, separated from the tares. Now all my prayers and it's so be it. A rebel, take the world by word of mouth. U.P.K, we the rebels that you heard about. Yeah. And it ain't gonna stop till 100 virgins in the house and I'm handing verdicts out. Yeah, rank, you ain't heard a clout without a shadow of a doubt. These devils hitting licks off us. Fuck the bank, I'm about to stone the pocket ticket office. Can't sweet talk us, cannot stop us. And plus I know the feds watch us. Tell the people that they church for the witch doctors. Put us in prison and stop violence. Meanwhile, U.P.K turning rebels into rock wallers. In league with mighty men, and now I understand things that never truly made sense. Like why I'm crying at this funeral for a criminal, knowing he ain't innocent, it's fucked up. But my boots shine, standing between two priests, about to blaze on their ass, call it tough love. Look out for niggas just clubs, and wouldn't touch a white bitch with OJ's black gloves. Father, forgive me for my error, I'm forever by your side. Clean and purge me of all my flaws. This the reason I'm alive. Thank God for this truth. Cause for a long time I was a rebel without a call.
Look, man, first time I'm making Planet YAHANNA, man, hit 3807.
Rebel without a call.
My little daughter with me. Open the door, he was dropping the truth on me and all that.
Rebel without a call.
Man, you know, you do your time. We taking them out and training that hand-to-hand combat.
Rebel without a call.
Yeah,
this the reason I'm alive. Thank God for this truth. Cause for a long time I was a rebel without a call.
You cannot fool us. We're already dead. We're already finished down.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is to have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bike on me. Boy, ass you to stop and ask you to prophets. My niggas serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, what the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new beast. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed the young for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Nowhere it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. So I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the props. You know, like we all come together. You know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and know your ass need to stop it, ass she the props. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Nigga, gotta stand up to serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we'll pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Or I'm gonna step up solid for show. For the fake niggas, stay solid. I got it, let's go, let's go. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't no token when we got the flow. I ain't no peace, just pay with you. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep me slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, your baby pants through the fire. Ain't she the props? That baby so below to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass she the props.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years. Right. But that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the props. Damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yashai Barakatham to all the brothers. May Yahweh bless you in the name of Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Christ. And to you sisters, Yahweh Shema Lathan Bashem Yashai. May Yahweh watch over you, sisters, in the name of who the world calls Christ. I'm Priest and Officer 50 Shari 1, under Commanding General YAHANNA. We are the I.S.U.P.K, which was started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. All right, today is Tuesday's night brotherhood class. Every Tuesday night, brothers in the I.S.U.P.K, brothers in the I.S.U.P.K in different schools across North and South Central America, all over the world, all over the globe. We are teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans how to treat each other. All right, again, this is Tuesday's night brotherhood class. Brotherhood is synonymous with sisterhood. All right. In the I.S.U.P.K, we teach out of the Bible, the 1611 King James Bible. It's the most accurate English translation there is. It also includes books like the Apocrypha, which a lot of different Christian denominations have taken out of the Bible or don't accept. All right. In the I.S.U.P.K, we are the only place on earth authorized to teach the truth of the Bible. All right. We are the priests and prophets of the Lord. The spirit of the prophets are returning, have returned, and we are teaching this truth to our people, teaching the truth to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the truth of the Bible, what the Most High requires of us, what the Bible is about, who the Bible is for. All right. And again, brotherhood is one of the foundations to this Bible. Brotherhood is how we treat each other. Brotherhood is a weapon according to the Bible. You can read about that in the book of Proverbs. A brother is born for adversity. All right. Brotherhood is how we treat each other. How we treat our wives, how we treat our kids, how we treat our brothers, our family, vice versa, sisters, how they treat other sisters, how they treat their husbands. That's what this whole Bible is about. You understand? And Christ, our King, Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew, he understood brotherhood. He understood brotherhood better than everybody. And he told his disciples, if you're my disciples, you would love your brothers. That's how you know you're my disciples, because you love one another. You understand? Christ taught brotherhood. Christ showed us how to treat one another. That's what this whole Bible is about. That's what brotherhood class is about. All right. So every Tuesday night, we teach Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans how to treat each other, which is foreign to a lot of us. Growing up in North and South Central America, we learn the ways of this country. We learn the ways of this culture. And we see, according to the Bible, these ways are very bad for us. These ways are destructive for us. They are destroying us. They have destroyed us, And we got to come out of these philosophies. We got to come out of this way of life and come back to loving one another as we love ourselves. Come back to learning how to love ourselves and learning to love the Most High. All right? And tonight's topic is about abortion. All right? Abortion is against the Most High. It's a very evil thing in the Most High's eyes. Most High told us to be fruitful and multiply. Told us to build our nation. Right? We can't be building our nation if we're aborting our babies. Women are out here out of order aborting their babies. If men are encouraging their sisters or encouraging the woman they lay down with to abort their babies. All right? These are very evil things in the sight of the Most High. And on the topic of abortion, we're going to get into a little background of who this woman named Margaret Sanger is. Right? Margaret Sanger is behind a lot of the philosophies and the culture of what we see today. All this abortion, what do you call it? Abortion, Salaki, what's that word? Just slipping my mind. Birth control. There you go. She was responsible for creating the birth control pill over in America. And some of her ideas and philosophies, some of the ideas that she had, they are heavily influencing our sisters today in a very bad way. All right, so we're going to get into a little bit about Margaret Sanger's history. All right, and then we're going to get into these scriptures. We're going to get into the Bible. We're going to get into the solution for how to treat one another, how to love each other, how to love our kids. Something that the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community is missing, is lacking. That's something that we need back. And we're only going to get that back when we come out of the ways of this society. We stop accepting all these different types of evils that go against the Most High power. The Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, so with that said, I got a quick video, just a little documentary or a bibliography on who this Margaret Sanger is. All right. It's just a 3-minute quick biography on some of the things she stood for and accomplished in her life. So we're just going to share my screen. Just bear with me 1 second. We'll get it up in a sec. Also, make sure you hit the sign-in links. If you're tuned in to YouTube or Facebook, you'll see that we have sign-in links that are posted in the chat. Make sure you sign in to get your attendance taken. And before you leave the class, make sure you sign out. All right. The sign-out links will be posted near the end of the class. Make sure you sign out before you leave the class. All right. All right. So we got my screen shared. And let's play this quick video on a little bit of the biography of Margaret Sanger.
Margaret Sanger was the founder of the American Reproductive Rights Movement.
Margaret Sanger was born Margaret Higgins on September 14, 1879, in Corning, New York. She came from a very large Roman Catholic family, having 11 siblings. After attending college, she studied to become a nurse.
Margaret Sanger was influenced by the experiences she had as a visiting nurse. She met so many immigrant working mothers who were deeply impacted by unwanted pregnancies and forced, often botched miscarriages.
Most people attribute Sanger's interest in birth control to seeing what her mother went through. She had a total of 18 pregnancies. Her mother ultimately died at age 40 of tuberculosis.
Margaret married William Sanger in 1902 and moved to Greenwich Village, New York City a few years later. There she began her life's work advocating for birth control while also raising a family of 3 children.
Margaret Sanger came.
I'm going to pause the video really quick. And so something just to note from some of the things they've laid out thus far. You see, they just said that her life's work was devoted to birth control. All right. And the reason this lady was thinking this way is because of the way she grew up. The way she grew up, some of the things she experienced. For all I know, for all we know, she had a mental illness. All right. But as you see her life's work and some of the things that she accomplished, she did a lot of evils here on earth. All right. In my mind, I would call this lady sick. I would say she is not well. I'd say she is the devil the Bible speaks of. She is a liar. She is a deceiver. She is a very wicked woman. All right. And a lot of the things that, some of the philosophies that she learned growing up led her to, at a young age, I guess, start this endeavor of birth control and giving these philosophies, trying to share these philosophies and ideologies with the world. You understand? She thought that she knew best. She understood life and she had the keys and secrets to life. And so she begins this great endeavor of many different evil things that she went on to accomplish. All right. So let's keep playing the video.
Of age during the period of the Comstock Act. This was a statute that made it illegal to discuss, distribute materials, or provide women with anything related to birth control or contraception.
Sanger thought that the best way to change the law was to break the law. She launched the Woman Rebel, which promoted birth control, collecting the attention of the U.S. government, which immediately indicted her for publishing obscene materials. Instead of risking 20 years in prison, she flew the country and went into exile in England.
Sanger spent 1 year in England and returned to the United States in 1915 when the charges against her were dropped. A year later, she opened America's first birth control clinic in Brooklyn.
She called the press.
Right, so again, we're going to do a quick pause. All right. First of all, I should have said this from the beginning of the video. We do not own the rights. The I.S.U.P.K does not own the rights to this video. This is a video you can find on YouTube. All right. It's just an informative video on her biography. All right. And some people sharing some stories on some of the things that she read about her or knew about her personally. All right. And something I wanted to bring up is that you notice that this woman was on a mission, right? Like I said earlier, not only did she begin this endeavor of teaching these philosophies onto the rest of the world, right? Sharing her opinion, thinking that her opinion mattered, thinking that she knew what was best for families. She was very passionate about her philosophies, right? All the way to the point of opening illegal clinics, right? Fleeing the country when the police were after her, coming back into the country when she was able to, and continued to open these illegal clinics and have these illegal practices in the name of her philosophies. This woman was very serious about this work that she was taking on. All right. Just taking a note of that. Let's keep going.
For interviews in which she announced the clinic, telling them it would be secret, essentially inviting police to come by. More than 400 women from the neighborhood came to that clinic. A few days later, their clinic was closed and Sanger and her colleagues were arrested. However, the clinic received coverage in all of the papers, and this was in the middle of World War I.
Sanger also went on to start a research institute dedicated to birth control, the first scientific journal dedicated to birth control, and a large advocacy organization. All of these pieces came together in 1942 to become what's now known as Planned Parenthood.
Sanger was deep.
Do a quick pause. I'm actually going to play that back because this is one of the most important things that I wanted to bring out. Or not one of the most important things, but something that is very important to know where some of these organizations come from, right? Namely, the one that was just mentioned, Planned Parenthood. All right, let's rewind that just a little.
Dedicated to birth control and a large advocacy organization. All of these pieces came together in 1942 to become what's now known as Planned Parenthood.
So her ideologies and all these different pieces that were coming together from different research that she did, different organizations and people that she was speaking to, different people to help fund her business, fund her philosophies and her ideas. These people coming together is what is the foundation of what is now known to be Planned Parenthood. All right. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up a quick stat for this year. This is 2021. So just a quick statistic. This is from the Scalpel of Truth. They have a stat here saying people frequently lie with numbers, usually because they want to conceal critical facts. The best example of this case being PP's famous only 3 or 4% of what we do is abortions. However, the plain truth about the organization can be found in its own annual reports. Abortions performed by Planned Parenthood per year, 354,871. 96.9% of pregnant Planned Parenthood clients get abortions. 40% of U.S. abortions are done by Planned Parenthood. Good night. Good night. Understand? I've heard people say the God of the Bible is a mass murderer for all the hundreds of thousands of people he's killed. So what is Planned Parenthood? What is abortion doing today? Right? Now, this stat right here being factual or not factual, people would have to do some of their own research. But I bring that out more to say I don't believe it's any secret that there are hundreds of thousands of abortions happening every year. All right? We have hundreds of thousands of babies being murdered every year. I've heard statistics of 400 abortions a day, 900 abortions a day, 400 black babies murdered every day, every single day. That is a disgusting thing in the eyes of the Most High. You understand, man? If you're anybody who's playing a part in some of these evils going on, I heavily encourage you to tune into some of these classes. Tune into the I.S.U.P.K. You're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, come to some of these classes and learn about your culture. Learn about your heritage. Learn about what the Most High requires of you. You understand? Because our nation in its state that it's in right now is totally out of order. We as a people need to come back to the Most High and start doing what he commands us to do. We're not going to learn how to do that in Christianity. We're not going to learn how to do that in Islam. We're not going to learn how to serve the Most High from going to college or university or following politicians. You understand? The Bible tells us that in this time, the gates of Israel are in languish. We have very poor leadership in our nation at this present time. And it's going to take good leadership to get us out of the condition that we're in. Not just good leadership, but a good leader. You understand? That man today is Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? You look at some of the fruits that have been built or that have gone out. Look at what the I.S.U.P.K is doing. Look at what our organization is doing, has accomplished. The lives we're changing. The families we're fixing. The brothers and sisters that we're getting out of all these different wicked conditions. Out of jail, cleaning their lives up. Off drugs. Off all these different addictions. Putting down alcoholism. Putting down cigarettes. Changing our diets. Learning to eat right. Getting our mind and our bodies back in order. You understand? And most importantly, learning to treat each other. Learning how to treat each other. Something I hear a lot in the I.S.U.P.K. You're Black, Hispanic, or Native American. You're thinking of aborting a child, aborting a baby. Do not do it. Give the baby to us. Do not abort your baby. Give your baby to us. We'll raise the child. Give that child an opportunity to live. Give that child an opportunity at life. You understand? This is what we do in the I.S.U.P.K. We're here to serve our people. All right. So, again, I was saying Planned Parenthood, they're responsible. This stat says 354,000 abortions a year just by Planned Parenthood alone, which is 40% of the abortions done in the U.S. You understand? That is a very evil thing in the sight of the Most High. And this is part of this woman's legacy. This is part of what this woman is responsible for. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going on with this video.
Sanger was deeply committed to finding a pill to help women control unwanted pregnancies.
During the 1950s, she brought together a coalition of philanthropists, scientists, and physicians to ultimately bring about the first birth control pill, which would be known as I.S.U.P.K.
After more than a half century leading the birth control fight, Sanger lived to see her main goals realized: the invention and FDA approval of a contraceptive pill in 1960, and the repeal of the Comstock Law by the Supreme Court in 1965. She died a year later on September 6, 1966.
Margaret Sanger wrote that a woman's body belongs to herself alone. It does not belong to the United States of America or any other government on the face of the earth. Sanger fought all her life to make this the case, and women today owe Sanger a great debt of gratitude for fighting this fight for herself and for generations to come.
Good night. All right, so that's a bit of, this is just a quick biography on who this woman is. I'm going to play that last maybe 10 seconds again. Because this is a saying that I hear echoed out throughout this culture. I hear this a lot. All right, let me play that back really quick.
Wrote that a woman's body belongs to herself alone. It does not belong to the Margaret Sanger wrote.
So Margaret Sanger wrote, okay, this is something that she wrote. This is something that she believed in. There's a philosophy that this evil woman had.
Wrote that a woman's body belongs to herself alone. It does not belong to the United States of America.
She said a woman's body belongs to her body and her alone. All right, that's a philosophy of this woman. Now you read about Salaki. Let me pull that verse up. Let's go to let's pull up the Bible really quick. We're going to go to the New Testament. We're going to go to the book of Colossians, verse 2, or Salaki, Colossians 2 and verse 8. All right. Again, this woman said that she believes that every woman, how did she put it again? Let me play that back one more time.
1966.
Margaret Sanger wrote that a woman's body belongs to herself alone. It does.
A woman's body belongs to herself alone. All right, this is what Margaret Sanger said. Something that she believed in. A woman's body belonged to her and her alone. And you hear in 2021, women actually echoing the same philosophies that this woman had. You're to ask a woman today what they think about Margaret Sanger. A lot of women are going to say, I don't see what's so bad about this woman. What's so bad about her saying that her body belongs to her and her alone? This is my body. I do what I want with it. My body, my choice. You understand? And that is a very evil thing to say. That is a very stupid, naive, and silly thing to say. You understand? That's more of the mindset of a child. It's not the mindset of somebody with wisdom. All right. The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8, it reads, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. A philosophy and vain deceit is believing that it's my body and mine alone. It's my body and I do what I want with it. My body, my choice. That is a very stupid thing to say. You understand? That is a philosophy that goes against the Most High. I'm going to keep reading. It says, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. You understand? There's no Bible verse. There's no verse where Christ says, your body is yours and yours alone. Your body, your choice. Those are not the words of Christ. Those are not the words that Christ's disciples would have said. But these are the philosophies and vain deceits of men. This is the philosophy of an evil woman who thought that it was her body and nobody else should have a choice or say in what I do with it. All right. What's going on, Barak Yalla? Yabba Shimon Shabrak Thumb. Salakia Ak, I can't hear you. I'm not sure if that's not sure if you can turn your mic up. I got my sound on.
Hear me now?
God, that's a little better. Comes. Yabba Shimon Shabrak Thumb. God. So today is Tuesday's brotherhood class. We're just speaking on abortion. We're speaking on Margaret Sanger. Just doing a quick background on who she is, what she stands for, and how we got to come out of these philosophies of men. All right? Oh, come on. So again, we're in the book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Okay, we're in the book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Again, it says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Right? My body, my choice, that is a philosophy and vain deceit. After the tradition of men. That's after the tradition of Margaret Sanger. Understand? That's after a tradition of a woman in the world. It's after the tradition of the devil the Bible speaks of. You understand? The nation of Idumea, the nation of Edom, they are very wicked people according to the Bible. And that is the nation that this woman comes from. All right? It reads, after the rudiments of the world and not after Christ. Again, you are not going to find a Bible verse where Christ tells women, it's your body, your choice. It's your body, you can do what you want with it. It's your body, if you don't feel like carrying this baby, you can take the child's life. You understand? Christ did not teach this. These are things that go against Christ. These are doctrines of devils. These are evil philosophies that our people need to stop following. They're very destructive for our people. All right? And this is something that you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American. This is something that is very important and very foundational to everything that we go through today. Baraki Allah, can you grab the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 17?
Oh, God.
This verse right here, Salaki, this verse right here sums up all the problems in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. Every issue that we have here, whether you come short on your rent bill, come short on your gas bill, you understand, you're having problems with your kids, issues with your kids at school, issue with your wives, issue with your husband, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, issues on the job, every issue that you have in this life. If you are Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you need to understand this verse right here. All right, go ahead and read that when you got it.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 8. If adversity come upon you, thou shalt find him there first.
God,
yes, shall the
adversity come upon thee. Anything that happens in your life, thou shalt find him there first. What is this talking about? When you read the context of this chapter, you see that this is your enemy. That is who you will find there first. Right? Keep reading.
Though he pretend to help thee, yet shall undermine thee.
Let me tell you something. You have any issue on earth, you're fighting with your wife, you're fighting with your kids, you got a problem on the job, you lost a loved one to drugs, you lost a loved one to gun violence, gang violence. Something you need to understand is that this oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. The European man is the devil the Bible speaks of. And everything that you go through in life is because of him. You understand? The I.S.U.P.K doesn't say it enough. I hear a lot of these fake groups, these Christians, they like to say, why are you always talking about the white man? Why are you always talking about what he's doing and calling him a devil? I've heard fake Israelites say, if we're here in captivity because of what our ancestors did, why are we blaming the white man? And there's something that they don't understand about who this cruel bastard is. They don't understand the nature of this oppressor that has been ruling over us for over 400 years. You understand? When you read through this Bible, you'll begin to learn about who this man's character is, what he's capable of, what he does. You understand? Right from the beginning in Genesis 2, calls him a serpent, calls him a snake because of his characteristics. It says in the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44, he was a murderer from the beginning. And when he speaks a lie, he speaketh of his own, because he is a liar and the father of it. You understand? This oppressor that is over us is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And as it reads in this verse right from the top, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. If you're going through anything in life, if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, it's because the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. You understand? That is something that we need to understand. And you look at what the philosophies of this devil has brought on today. Man, this is the number one. This is the number one killer of the Black household: abortion. You understand? You start looking into the statistics of how many Black children are being killed, how many Black babies aren't given the opportunity at life. This is absolutely the number one killer of our people. You understand? And this needs to be corrected in our culture, needs to be corrected in our family. You understand? In the nation of Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These are philosophies of men that we need to stop following because they are destroying us. Right? Let's drop that. Brachiala, can you grab 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 20? And Salaki, bear with me. I just got a little cold. But we're going to get through this. So, Salaki, 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 20. Excuse me.
The book of 1 Maccabees. They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and children.
God. Not only is this oppressor the devil the Bible speaks of, but they have a plan to destroy us. You understand? They use iniquity to destroy us. They come with much pride and iniquity to destroy us. And the only way they're capable of destroying the black household, the Hispanic and Native American household, is through the weaker vessels. You understand? It says in the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 27, matter of fact, Slaki Braki, I'll hold Maccabees for me. I'm going to bring out a verse. You go to the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 27. It says, no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. You understand? When we read in Genesis, when we call this man a snake, a serpent, you understand? When we put this attribute on him, this attribute on him, a devil, a deceiver, a liar, when we understand the nature of this man, we can better understand why we go through some of the things we're going through. Slakia, not some of the things, all of the things that we're going through. You understand? Another verse in Genesis says, Esau was a cunning hunter. You understand? And he was given a blessing of the sword to kill, to murder. We see that in his character and in his nature. Read First Maccabees again, Baba Kasha.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 20. They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us, and our wives and children, and to spoil us.
And to spoil us. You understand? There's only one way to spoil a strong man's house. You understand? There's only one way to spoil Barak Ya'Allah's house. And that is to bind him up. Right? That word bind means to put in bondage, to put chains, shackles, to tie him up. There's no other way you're getting into Barak Ya'Allah's house and stealing everything from his house. You're not getting into Barak Ya'Allah's house and hurting his family, because Barak Ya'Allah is a strong man. And that's what every Black, Hispanic, and Native American man is. That's who we were. And that's why this devil has done everything to destroy us, to tie us up, to bind us, to put chains and shackles on us. Look at how many Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are sitting in a prison cell today. Strong men who are bound. And when you look at what this devil has been doing to us, he has been constantly trying to destroy the Black man, the Hispanic man, and Native American man, buck breaking the Black man in front of their women and kids, showing them that our men were weak, our men were soft, weren't capable of defending the household. You understand? This oppressor has been doing this to us for hundreds of years. Again, verse 20 reads, they come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us, and our wives and children, and to spoil us. You understand? This oppressor uses our wives and our kids to destroy us. You understand? They teach our women these stupid concepts like your body, your choice. You don't have to listen to your man. You don't have to submit to your man. It's your body. Don't let a man control what you do. Don't let a man tell you what to do. Don't let a man tell you to keep that child. Where are the fathers telling these daughters what to do with their bodies? Where are these men who are standing up protecting these women, protecting their kids? This is why the oppressor goes through the women and children. You understand? They've been using these tactics for hundreds of years to destroy us. You understand? It says in the Bible that there's no new thing under the sun. No new man, no new spirit. That spirit that Esau had from the beginning is the same spirit he has today. The same tactics he used to destroy us hundreds of years ago, he uses to destroy us today. This is why we got to get in the I.S.U.P.K and learn to be wise. Learn to make good decisions. Learn who's around us. Learn who's trying to destroy us. How to combat all these evil things that are trying to destroy us in this world. You understand? Let's drop that. Can you grab skip that. Can you grab the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 56, Baba Kasha?
Khan.
Slacky, give me one second. I'm just gonna blow my nose. Salakia. Yeah, so let's grab book of Deuteronomy. Let me get there with you. Deuteronomy 28. Start at verse 56.
Khan.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, towards her son, and towards her daughter.
Khan, so there was a time when Salakia. There was a period of time when our Black, Hispanic, and Native American women, we had our own culture. We were living the way that the Most High created us to live, intended us for us to live. You understand? And when we had our culture and our heritage, our Black women were very feminine. Our Hispanic and Native American women were very feminine. You understand? Delicate women. They understood who they were. You understand? And they carried that spirit. The daughters of Zion. The point where they wouldn't let their soul, the sole of their foot, touch the ground. Right? Dainty, feminine, soft. You got a lot of our women out here today just loud mouth, running their mouths out of order. You understand? Not submitting to any man. telling everybody what they will and won't do. You understand? Let's read that verse again, Baba Kishore.
Khan. 26. The tender and delicate woman among you will not venture to set the sole of a foot on the ground. With delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be done, and towards her daughter.
God. And now this is speaking about an evil woman. You understand? This is talking about a woman who says, I don't take orders from no man. I'm not submitting to any man. My body, my choice. I do what I want. You understand? This is a curse that plagues our people. And it's crazy because some of these women will sit here and say, I don't need a man. I don't want a man. I'm not listening to a man. And then they start dating some woman who acts like a man.
Khan.
You understand? Like they leave the natural use of a man, natural use of a woman. They go and get into some homosexuality or some same-sex marriage, whatever you want to call it, whatever nonsense and garbage they call it today. And they go look for a woman with a manly spirit. It makes no sense. That's why the Bible calls this place Babylon. It's a confusing place. It's an inhabitant of every foul spirit, everything that goes against the Most High. You understand? The Black, Hispanic, and Native American household is totally out of order. We are not living the way the Most High intended for us to live. And that's why we're suffering the way we are. That's why we live in hell. In every ghetto, barrio, and reservation. It's because we disobey the Most High. And so this is talking about an evil woman, right? Woman who doesn't submit to her man. Keep reading.
Verse 57. And towards her young that cometh out from between her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and strains, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates.
God. And what this evil woman will do, as we're reading about, this evil woman will take advantage of the opportunities that the white man offers her and kill her own child, kill her own son, kill her own daughter. That's these wicked women that we're dealing with today. And there's a lot of wicked men out there telling these sisters to abort their babies, telling these sisters they shouldn't keep it. You understand? You're just as wicked. Not taking away from what these sisters are doing, because a lot of these sisters are out of order too. Evil women. Won't even give your child a chance. Won't give your princess a chance at life. To open her eyes in the world. To breathe some fresh air. That's how evil and cold some of our people have become. All right? Let's drop that. You grab the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 3 for me. Lamentations. I understand. And the wisdom of this world, the wisdom that we need to combat all these evils on this earth, we have the solutions, we have the answers to everything in life in this Bible. If you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native American, an Israelite that the Bible speaks of, the children of God, we have the answers that we need for our communities. We just got to open this book, read it, and learn it from the priests and prophets of the Most High. All right? Go ahead and read that verse when you got it.
In the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 3. Even the sea monster draws, they give suck to their young ones. The daughters of my people will become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness.
You understand? The Most High understands the spirit of our women today. You understand? And this is why a lot of us got to be destroyed. Paul told the church of Corinthians to give their souls over to Satan so that he could deal with them and correct them, so that their soul could be saved. A lot of our people are going to have to go through a lot of shit, a lot of hell, because they choose to disobey the Most High. And it says in Psalms 143, I think it's 143 and verse 7, it says, only the children of Israel know the laws, statutes, and commandments. As for the other nations, their judgments, they don't know them. You understand? I'm paraphrasing that verse. You understand? The Most High is only dealing with the children of Israel. And Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are feeling the judgments of disobeying the Most High. We're in a covenant with him, a contract with him, an agreement. If we listen to him, we'll be blessed. We'll be above all nations on the face of the earth. But if we don't listen to the Most High, then curses will fall upon us. And a lot of our women today, their spirits have gone cold. Their hearts have gone cold. When you look at the animals on the earth, even the animals take care of their kids. Animals take care of their babies. Read that verse from the top again.
The book of Lamentations, verse 3. Even the sea monsters draw the breath, they give suck to their young ones.
Even the animals in the sea, the animals in the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, even the animals feed their kids. Keep reading.
The daughter of my people has become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness.
But the daughters of my people have become cruel. You understand? It is not okay to abort your child. It is not okay to murder your baby. The Most High will not walk with you if you are following these philosophies of Margaret, what's her name again? Sanger? I don't even remember this devil's name. Margaret Sanger. The Most High will not be with you if you are following the philosophies of Margaret Sanger, saying your body, your choice. The Most High said, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not murder. Shouldn't be out here planning the death of your child. Planning how to abort your baby. Planning how to take your child's life. And the Most High will punish you for it. The Most High is punishing us for it. Understand? Let's drop that. Can you grab the book of Job, chapter 39? Job 39 and verse 13. Job 39, we'll start at verse 13.
There's the book of Job, chapter 39, verse 13. Givest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich?
Keep reading.
Verse 14. Which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in dust.
Read.
Verse 15. And forgot it that the foot may crush them, so that the wild beasts may break them.
Come on. What is this talking about? This is speaking about the ostrich. The ostrich leaves her eggs on the ground, in the dirt. And as she does that, she forgets that she leaves her eggs there. She forgets that she leaves her babies on that ground. That's what the ostrich does. And it leaves room for other animals to walk on top of her eggs. The eggs have no protection. Any animal can come by and destroy it. Keep reading.
Verse 16. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers.
Read that again.
She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers.
She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. What is this talking about? This is a metaphor. This isn't speaking about an ostrich. This is speaking about the daughters of Zion. This is speaking about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American women. This is how cold that our sisters have grown towards their babies, towards their children. You understand? And there's only one thing that's going to fix that. We can't be out, these sisters can't be out here, you understand, just running their mouths saying, my body, my choice. This is my body. I don't need to listen to anybody. My body belongs to me. Margaret Sanger said, it's a woman's God-given right. God-given right. This is what this devil is teaching people. It's a woman's God-given right to do what she wants with her body. You understand? And this is a woman who grew up in a Catholic church. Isn't the Catholic Church supposed to be against abortion? Isn't the Catholic Church supposed to be following God? These are the evil people that are being raised in the Catholic Church. I don't even know the disgusting amount of pedophiles that are in the Catholic Church, raping and touching little boys. These are the evil people that the Catholic Church is raising. This devil said it's a woman's God-given right to do what she wants with her body. You understand? And when you read John 8:44, Christ was checking our people. Christ was checking our leadership. He told them, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do." He was telling those Israelites to stop following that Roman culture, Roman philosophies, Greek philosophies, the philosophies of devil, the philosophies of men, saying, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do." You sisters need to stop following these devils. Stop following these philosophies that these evil bastards are teaching our people. Because it has you cold as hell towards your babies. Cold as hell towards your children. You understand? Matter of fact, Brachiala, can you grab the book of Psalms, chapter 100, I believe it's 100 and verse 3?
Let
me see if that's what I want. Psalms 100. Psalms chapter 100 and verse 3.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 100, verse 3. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and sheep of his pasture.
God. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. You understand? There's a brother in the school who came up with a beautiful song. In that song, he says, "That baby's soul belongs to the Lord. How dare you abort it?" That baby doesn't belong to you. Your body doesn't belong to you. How is a woman growing up in a Catholic church claiming to follow God, yet saying, "It's my body. It's my God-given right to do what I want with my body"? Where is the leaders teaching our people? Your body doesn't belong to you. That baby's life doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the Lord. He made it. He made the sun, the moon, the stars. He made all the animals, the land, the water, everything in it. That baby's life doesn't belong to you. That baby's soul belongs to the Lord. You have no right to abort that child. And where do people get it in their heads or get the audacity to actually believe this garbage? That it's okay to kill a baby. It's okay to take my child's life. We got to come out of her, my people. It says in Revelations 18 and verse 4. We got to stop living like these animals, taking on the philosophies of these animals. You understand? Drop that. Where want to go? Let's gonna bring out a little more in some articles. Wanted to share some more stuff. What we got next? I'm gonna pull up. I got an article here that says this is 21 quotes. 21 quotes of this devil. "21 quotes from Margaret Sanger." All right. Probably not going to read through all of them. But this is some of the nonsense that this devil believed. All right. This is from a site called TFP Student Action. It was taken from a student from what was that school? It was some Ivy League school, some student in some Ivy League school who took down some of the history of this woman. And this woman's character is highly known. It's no secret on who this woman is and what she believed in, to the point of, even though she's one of the founders of Planned Parenthood removed her name and tried to remove and erase her memory from everything that they're doing today, because even they recognize her as an evil, racist, despicable person. Even Planned Parenthood recognizes this. You understand? So you can look up this woman if you want more information on her. But these are some of the philosophies that our sisters are following. All right? These are some of this woman's quotes. It says, one, she says, Margaret Sanger says, "But from my view, I believe that there should be no more babies." She said that in an interview with John Parsons in 1947. Another quote, she says, "The most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it." Good night. Salaki, I said this woman was sick before. I don't even know what word to use. I wouldn't even say sick. This woman is diabolical. Like this woman is the definition of evil. She said the most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it. You understand? Murder is in these people's hearts. And when you look up their history, the history of Esau, the history of this white man, it is no secret that he goes around murdering everything and everybody on this earth. You had some 2,000 people die in 9/11. He turned around and bombed millions of women and children. You understand? His death count, his body count, nobody can come near it. Nothing on earth can come near the amount of people this man kills. The nation of Esau. She says, we don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. Now that's a whole other topic I could get into about some of the things that this woman believes. And give a quick statistic on that thought. When you look at who the majority of the people who are suffering, or the majority of babies that are being killed, it is black babies, the so-called African American, the so-called Negro. I'm not sure on the stats this year. If I'm not mistaken, last year, black women. Oh, Slovakia. I have a stat. This is black abortions by the numbers. National statistics says more than 20 million black babies have been aborted since the 1973 Roe v. Wade U.S. Supreme Court decision legalized abortion in our country. Black women have a significantly higher abortion rate than whites and Hispanics. 33.6% of all abortions in the U.S. in 2016 were performed on black women. However, only about 13% of the total population is black. You understand? That statistic is a hard thing to wrap around your mind. You got 34% of all abortions in the U.S. done by black women. And they only make up 13% of the population. So letting you know that the majority of people aborting their kids are black women. The majority of babies that are being murdered are young black and Hispanic babies. You understand? That stat wasn't even including Hispanics and Native Americans. That was just black women. For every 1,000 live births, black women had 335 abortions. You understand? That means if you're a black baby, you're a black child in the States, there's a 1 in 3 chance you're going to be murdered. That was in 2016. That's your chances at life. Being black in America. 1 in 3 chances you're going to have your life taken from you. And what did this woman say? Margaret Sanger, we don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. That is a quote she said in 1939. Another quote she says, I accepted an invitation to talk to the women's branch of the Ku Klux Klan. I was escorted to the platform, was introduced, and began to speak. In the end, through simple illustrations, I believed I had accomplished my purpose. A dozen invitations to speak to similar groups were proffered. She was going around speaking to white supremacist groups. She says, I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world. She says the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world. And so I'm going to pull a verse up. This is, Salakia. This is the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4 says, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. This woman is so diabolical. You understand? Sin is the transgression of the law. Sin is murdering your baby, murdering your child. But this devil said, I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world. Good night. That have disease from their parents, that have no choice in the world to be a human being practically, delinquents, prisoners, all sorts of things just marked when they're born. That to me is the greatest sin that people can commit. She said that in 1957. You understand? Salakia, Baraki Allah. Who do they consider delinquents in the world today?
Salakia, I don't want the 12 tribes of Israel.
Damn right. Who do they consider to be prisoners today?
What is that, 12 tribes?
Damn right. What this woman was saying, but she said, what year was that? 1957? This woman said the greatest sin in the world is to bring a black baby into this earth. That's what this woman is saying. The greatest sin in the world is for a black man and a black woman to have a child. Because they're going to grow up in poverty. They're going to grow up in a fatherless household. They're going to grow up and be delinquents and go to prison. And you dumbass sisters are following this woman's philosophies. Running around saying it's my body, my choice. That is a disgusting thing to say. Margaret Sanger doesn't want anything good for the black household. She doesn't want anything good for our black sisters. She wants our race to die. And that was her life's work. These are some of the things that this woman pushed for. And you see it happening today. What was a stat I read earlier? 396,000 black babies murdered in 1 year. This is the result of this woman's work. Slaki. Slaki. Let's drop that. Slaki, Baraka Allah, can you grab 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 19?
Okay.
Shoot. She has different quotes on eugenics. This woman had a whole bunch of philosophies, whole different things that she was trying to accomplish in her life. Does she say the most serious evil of our times is that of encouraging the bringing into the world of large families? The most immoral practice of the day is breeding too many children. Eugenics without birth control seems to us a house builded upon the sands. It is at the mercy of the rising stream of the unfit. As an advocate of birth control, I wish to take advantage of the present opportunity to point out that the unbalance between the birth rate of the unfit and the fit, admittedly the greatest present menace to civilization, can never be rectified by the inauguration of a cradle competition between these two classes. The most urgent problem today is how to limit and discourage the over-fertility of the mentally and physically defective. Good night. No more children should be born when the parents, though healthy themselves, find that their children are physically or mentally defective. Here's one. She says, a marriage license shall in itself give husband and wife only the right to a common household and not the right to parenthood. No woman shall have the legal right to bear a child, and no man shall have the right to become a father without a permit for parenthood. And she went on to say, no permit for parenthood shall be valid for more than one birth. You understand? This woman was diabolical. Evil. That is the spirit of these people. We got to come out of these philosophies. We got to stop following the ways of our oppressor. Because they want you to die. They don't want good for you. They want evil. They want you to be a good slave, dance for them, entertain them, build their kingdom. And when they're done with you and you're an inconvenience to them, they throw you away. You understand? Go ahead and read that verse when you got it.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 19. What know ye not that your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not and ye are not your own.
Come. You understand? Your body is a temple of the Most High. Your body is a temple of the Most High. Your body is not your own. It does not belong to you. It belongs to God. It's not your right to go around aborting babies. That child belongs to God. That spirit belongs to the Most High. And we need to treat our temples according to the way the Most High tells us. You understand? Drop that. Let's bring out one more verse. Can you grab Colossians chapter 3 and verse 14?
Like you said, verse 14.
Colossians 3 and verse 14.
Is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 14. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness.
Slack it 1 second. No. Colossians. Slack you 1 second. Colossians 3. Slack. Let's go up to whatsoever you shall do in word and deed. Start at verse 17, Baba Kasha.
Khan, this is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever ye word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord, giving God the Father by him.
Keep reading.
Verse 18. Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands, as it is fit in the Lord.
Come. And this is the order that the Most High set up for us. Shouldn't be a loudmouth woman out here telling your man you're going to abort the baby. Telling your man that it's your body, your choice. No, wives, submit to your husband. Get under order of your husband. You understand? Wives, submit to your husband. Doesn't say get abused from a husband. It doesn't say let a man tie you up and beat you half to death. You understand? It doesn't say wives, let your husband abuse you. It said wives, submit to your husband. Following people like Margaret Sanger, which have you believe that it's abusive for you to submit to your man. That it's some evil act, some wicked thing against the Most High, or a wicked thing or crime against you, submitting to a man. And that philosophy has our households destroyed. You look at how high the divorce rates are today. Look at how many sisters are being thrown away. Tells you in the book of Ecclesiasticus how to raise a daughter. Teach her to be shamefaced. Teach her to be silent. Teach her not to run around running her mouth out, being out of order. Because it tells us, if you don't teach your child, you don't teach your daughter, you don't correct her and show her the right way to live, that when she's older, her husband will hate her. Her husband will throw her away. That's why you have so many single women out here with kids. Single women out here trying to raise kids on their own. Because they don't know how to keep a man. They don't know how to act right. Nobody taught them to submit. You understand? There's a lot of men out here who are going to tell you, keep that child. A lot of men out here are going to say, we're going to do everything we can to make sure this child's good. A man was born to protect. That's a man's role. Make sure his family's safe. Make sure his kids are safe. But he can't do that if you bind that strong man. You take away his power, take away his authority. God says, if you're a woman and you lay down with a man, that is the voice of God speaking to you. Submit to that man. Keep reading.
Verse 19. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them.
Come on. And to you men out there, you are not allowed to be bitter to your wives. You understand? That woman took your keys and threw it out the window. You're not allowed to be bitter to that woman. She hid your wallet. She threw your cell phone in the garbage. She took out your favorite pair of Jordans and lit them on fire. She told you to sleep on the couch. Whatever aggravating or annoying thing that she did to you. Read that again.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 19. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them.
Love your wives. Understand? You're a man, it's a job. It's your duty to love your wife. To do all the things that the Most High commanded you to do. To guide and protect her, to teach her, to raise her up. To instruct her. You understand? To suffer for that woman. To give your life for that woman if need be. You understand? The whole Black, Hispanic, and Native American household needs to get in order. The Black man needs to be a man. The Black, Hispanic, and Native American women needs to submit to their husband. Get in the I.S.U.P.K and submit to a man who submits to God. Submit to a man who submits to Christ. You understand? This would solve all our issues in our community. Coming back to the Most High and learning how to treat each other.
Kawakan.
Right? So with that, Salaki Braki Allah, is there anything you want to bring out before we end the class? Nah, no sweat. So with that, we're going to end Tuesday's night brotherhood class. Let's clap it up. Again, make sure you hit the sign-in link, the sign-out link. I'm going to put the sign-out links in the chat to anybody watching, anybody who tuned in. We're going to give the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We're at the I.S.U.P.K, which will start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves with the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to Salakia. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the Feast of Dedication coming up, known as Hanukkah in the Hebrew, for every Black, Hispanic, and Native American man and woman, which is on the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, which in today's calendar will be on Sunday, 28th November, for a span of 8 days. You can read about the Feast of Dedication in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verses 52 to verse 61. With that said, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I.M.A.J.M, which means stand. We're going to first give a courtesy salute to the brothers, the Akim, men of Israel, I.M.A.J.M Shabbat, I.M.A.J.M, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barakatham, Yad Yamatah, Sarak Wakian, which means turn and face the sisters. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, I.M.A.J.M Shabbat, I.M.A.J.M, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alathan B'Hashem Yahshai, Yad Yamatah. Class dismissed.
Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we're going through. Know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you. So the devil she waiting and to play with. I wish material up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through. We know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you. So the devil she waiting and to play with. I wish material up to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the team. UPK play for kings. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat, man.
This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 Beach. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. On my grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be church. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If they cross the line, I'm gonna back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, all y'all do the street. Tell y'all it's do the street. The nigga made the wrong move when he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us hit the league. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through